Hi. Hello. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? I assume you can see me since I can see me. Okay. I don't know what it was. I left to go get my book. I think my webcam is having issues. I had this during my live ritual situation as well, where it's not connecting properly with the USB thing. So, all right, I'm back. And on the plus side, I was able to get a hairbrush. So, I look a little less crazy now. I feel a little better. All right, so we were talking about herbs and books and that sort of thing. Oh, no, we're not going to move that wire. Let's see. Okay, so magical correspondences. The other first correspondence book that I showed, the like the complete book of correspondences that has some of the herbs and things like that. So these are the more so magical, not medicinal or spiritual, but these go away. I don't need an alarm. But these are more healing and medicinal. Yes, hi Peggy, I'm back. Technical difficulties. I blame Mercury retrograde. And it has, this is one of my favorite books. And it has a whole ton of information on things on healing, things that could help with certain, obviously don't use this as like your guide to any illnesses and things like that. It's used to kind of be an aid or as a help. See your doctor first. Make sure that it's not like serious medical conditions, because although a lot of this stuff can be very helpful towards your health and all that fun stuff, but there's also some things that you need to see a doctor for. So this is one of them, and this is called The Illustrated Encyclopedia of Healing Remedies by C. Norman Shealy. They have an MD and a PhD, and it has over 1,000 natural remedies for the prevention, treatment, and cure of common ailments and conditions. So I really like this book. I have some tabs on it and things like that. Definitely enjoy the information it provides. Then, I think I just have one. I only grabbed 3. I have so many of these, and they were at a discounted price, so of course I had to pick them up, because why not? This is the National Geographic Guide to Medicinal Herbs, and it's The World's Most Effective Healing Plants by Rebecca L. Johnson and Stephen Foster, Terona Lodog, David Kafer, and forwarded by Andrew Wheel. So it also has really good illustrations and information on it. And it goes like by plant. So this is rosemary and what rosemary can be good for, and willow bark, what willow bark could be good for. So this is organized more so by plant and what that plant can help, versus the other one more so by what the ailment is and how to kind of like work with that ailment or like get rid of the ailment. So medicinal herbs. Oh, and this one's, I guess it's a good segue into this. And this is for essential oils, natural remedies to use with essential oils. Also a good book. And Essential Oils, Natural Remedies by, who are you by? Who are you by? Could be like a mix of authors. By Fall River Press. I don't see like one individual author, but yeah, that one's good to work with in regards to essential oils and that sort of stuff. So oils and herbs go hand in hand. There's a lot of similarities because you can't get essential oils without herbs and plants, that sort of thing. But it's a different concentration, and it has to be, I would say essential oils have to be used with a lot more caution. I mean, let me rephrase this. All herbs and plants need to be used with caution based on your allergies, the way you react to it. Certain parts of them could be poisonous and toxic and not good for you or like your pets, or by themselves it can be fine, but if you mix it with something else, then it could be harmful, hurtful, something along those lines. And essential oils are in a higher concentration than you would, for example, use an herbal tea or that sort of thing. So be very cautious of all of it, but essential oils tend to be a little bit more problematic if there's like an accident or overdose or something like that were to happen. Okay, so that was some on herbs. I guess this could be a good segue into crystals. And here are my 3 absolute favorite crystal books, or crystal correspondence books. And it's called The Crystal Bible by Judy Hall. And there is version like 1, 2, and 3. So they have the crystal name, they have images for the crystal, and they have all sorts of information. So it has things about like the colors, the appearance, the appearance, the rarity, where it's sourced from, its attributes, what it helps with healing, and which, like, for example, position on the body it would work better with meditating, for example, like over your third eye or a specific chakra point or things along those lines. And towards the back of it is like different crystal shapes and their representation and what kind of energy that they provide, because a crystal in itself has its own energies, its own resonations, and its own like frequencies that you can work with. Once you start manipulating the shape of that crystal, you start to change its frequency a little bit and the way that it ends up being resonated. So different shapes of crystals affect things in different ways, or affect the way its energy is kind of transcribed in different ways. Let me give you an example. If you go with towers and the points tend to point energy up. So if you were to be using this this crystal for something, regardless if it's just on a stand and it's using, then you're getting the energies from it. But if you're, for example, if you're meditating with it and you want to focus this type of energy outwards, then you would have the point be pointing away from you. Also depends if you're left-handed or right-handed. I forget which. I believe if you're right-handed, the right hand is for releasing energy and the left hand is for receiving energy. And if you're left-handed, it's vice versa. So the point points to where the direction is flowing, the energy of the direction is flowing. So I like how she talks about that part as well. And not just the crystal itself is correspondence. So she has a lot of information when it comes to crystals. So crystals and minerals. And I believe each book has over 200 crystals that she talks about. So it's wonderful. I'm waiting for number 4 to come out because there's so many more crystals. And then there is also Scott Cunningham's Crystal and Gem and Metal Magic. And again, similar to his herbal book, it is based around the crystal, and it's mainly magical properties. So things like that. he has more of like a list format, that sort of thing. He does have a few illustrated pages of it to kind of give you a reference of what crystal is which, that sort of thing. But I like her because not only is she providing some of the magical and spiritual correspondences to it, she has a very like clear guide of what the crystal looks like. And I need all the help I can get with figuring out some crystals because some of them are very, very similar to each other. So, all right, so that's that part. What other book should I go through next? Give me a random number. Random number 1 through 20. Go, and then I'll count off and go into that part. 5. All right. We got James saying 5. I'm going to go over to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aha. Another good workbook. This is a Wiccan book. This is what I started off with. This is actually my second copy because my first copy my mom threw out when I was a kid. So if you are interested in going through the Wiccan path and learning like the Wiccan way, or not even learning into like the Wicca religion, this is a really kind of good guidebook to help you get started in witchcraft and in practice and help you with connection. I don't agree with a few things in it. For example, this lot of, how do I put it? A good portion of this is working with specific deities, and it like tells you how to do it and like directs you. All right, let me try to phrase this in a way that I can explain it. It kind of, I mean, obviously you don't have to follow what this book is telling you, but it guides you and encourages you to work with specific deities per this book. Now, if you're going alongside with the Wiccan religion, then it might be more helpful to you because they do work with a lot of these deities. I don't like to work with deities personally. They kind of scare me. A little bit intimidating. I am not worthy. But I don't really like that, how it's, I don't like that part. Another couple of parts is just, so kind of take it with a grain of salt. If you are wholeheartedly going into the Wiccan religion, then it's a really good book to start off with and kind of go step by step. If you're just learning as spirituality and practice, it's still a really good book because I like the guides and like for meditating. It has a couple different options on it. It has different symbolisms. It goes over tarot. It goes over a couple other things, but it's very, I don't want to sound like bad about this, but I would say it's very generic and what like witchiness kind of became. So it's a good book. I like the book. There's just some parts that I don't agree with, and it's very common. It is very, very common, and that's not exactly a bad thing. It's great if you're starting off and you're a new practitioner. It's really good, but it's, wow, I can't find the word for it. It's not a bad word. And I'm not trying to make it sound bad, but it's very, I don't know, someone drop in the thingy, let me know if I'm making any sense or if I should try to go further trying to, simple, yes, it's simple, but yes, you don't need to follow a pagan pantheon to be a pagan, absolutely not. That's, one of the reasons why I don't like how it specifically goes over. Not only does it go into like deities and like worship of deities and connecting with deities, but it also jumps around with different pantheons. So it doesn't stick to, for example, Greek or that part or something like that. Basic, um, basic would be a good word, but not like in a bad way. It's just very, I'm laughing at my own like loss for words. Very basic, very simplified, and is trying to give you um broad. Yes, broad. It is common and broad, so it's not really directing you with specific type of like super connection, but it's really, really good to, it's a good starting point, but take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm moving on from that. So that was book 5, and it's called Wicca: A Year and a Day by Timothy Roderick. One thing that I do like with it is that it goes day by day with certain things. For example, let's see, where is it? It goes day by day, like talks about Imbolc, and you spend a couple days on Imbolc pronunciations, and what kind of energies are associated with it. And the same thing with Beltane or Samhain. So I like that, so that you're not going through everything, but it is 366 days of like practice. And I really like that it's stretched out across that time and you get the time to kind of focus on that energy, but it's also very generic. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. Moving on. Okay. Let's see. So that was 5. Let's go with 6. Um, my favorite series of crystal books are the Love is in the Earth by Melody. Ooh, I'll have to look into that. I think you might have, was it you that mentioned that before in a previous live stream? All right, so book number 6, I'm going to go down that pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, speaking about religion, I have notes galore. Let's see. So this is called Primal Myths, Creation Myths Around the World by Barbara Sproul. So this is more theological based, not exactly spiritual based, but it really gives a big commonality between various religions and various myths and just how they're intertwined and connected. So it goes across lots of different religions. It talks about Christianity, there's some on Buddhism, there's some on Norse mythology, there's like North American types of myths, Eastern, that sort of thing. So it goes through like common myths. For example, one of the stories that it goes through is about Christianity and how the earth came to be. And then it talks about how Greek mythology talks about how the earth came to be, or the Chinese mythology of how the earth came to be. And it's so fascinating to read all of these different religions and all of these different perspectives that have a very, very common theme and so many similarities. Just could be worded a little bit different. There was actually a research paper I've done for my religions course where I talked about genetic memory, spirituality, psychology, and Carl Jung's theory of the collective unconscious, of how and possibly why all of these religions and beliefs could be connected based through our biology. And it's one of my most favorite research articles I've done. It is a stupid amount of length of pages, and I keep adding to it because I just am fascinated by this topic. And was like a really good starting point for me of just seeing how interconnected a lot of these religions are. So it's more theological, more of like a perspective book on learning different things. So again, Primal Myths by Barbara Sproul. Let's see. Common length of learning the craft is a year and a day. Yes. Yes, it is. I think that's definitely based off of like the Wiccan religion and how they conducted their studies, and that just kind of became encompassing like almost like a rule of thumb, so to speak. Studied both Irish and Welsh Celtic mythology, and in both middle and high school I was drawn to Greek mythology. Awesome. Working with pantheons and deities is great if that fits you and your style. I wholeheartedly agree with it. All right, that could be like a decent segue into these two books. So, guys, I won't have enough time to go through all of these books, so I think there might be like a part 2 in a little while so I can talk about more books. Are you enjoying this? Should I keep going and doing more of this stuff? But this is the Encyclopedia of Spirits, and this is the Encyclopedia of Demons and Demonology, which are also spirits and deities and that sort of thing. And it's really funny when you talk about demons and demonology, how people end up being like scared by it. It entertains me because demons tend to be easier to work with than angels. Let's see. So the Encyclopedia of Spirits, it is by Judica Iles, and let's see. So it also talks about deities. So we have Apollo. Let me give you a little bit of a glance into how it looks on the inside. Has also known as and who it is. So Apollo is the golden boy of the Olympian pantheon. Divine child carried in mother's arm to Delphi, and it gives like a little bit of like a backstory about what and where it came from. So favored people, healers, musicians, psychics, manifestations, a breakingly handsome young man with long golden hair, iconography, frequency depicted naked or near naked, and it has its attributes, spirit allies, planets, the planet that goes with it, the number that correspond with it, sacred days, animals, bird, mount, gem, space, place, altar, offering, and like continuous work of other things. So I really enjoy it because it really kind of like has a large encompass of various different spirits and entities that you can work with and study and kind of like understand. It has various religions and places. For example, they have I'm gonna butcher the names, Amaka'awa from Hawaii, or Auko from Vietnam, has Aurora from Italy, and like all of these different spirits and entities to be working with. So, great book. It sounds really hollow. What? All right, moving on. And this is very similar, but specifically to demons and demonology. Let's see. So, let me see. Let me find a good. So it talks about some of the associations with it, like the evil eye or Euronymous, what the lore is from. It has images and depictions and explanations. It has Hecate and Hell, and where they're associated from. It also has different, like, the sigils and correspondences that go alongside with the entity that it's talking about. And it has a little bit of, like, history and kind of where it was, like, originated from or where the idea came from. what the magical influences are, and what types of magic that it's partial to, how you can work with them and correspond with them, and things along those lines. So, nose itchy. So these two books, if you're interested in studying and learning like spirits and various entities, or getting into deities, it's a really good like reference guide to it. Kind of like go through it, see what calls out to you, and then do more of like a deep dive into finding out more information, because it's definitely not a complete book on this entity. It's just like a reference guide, or like a good way to kind of like look back and understand little bits and pieces of who it is, what did they do, and that. So adding it to more of them. All right, let's see. Oh my god, why is my nose so itchy? Probably the dust that some of these books brought up. Let's see. So we did 5, 6, 7. I'm amused. So I said pick a number 1 through 20, and all of these are between like 5 and 7. Interesting. We're all on like the same wavelength at this point. So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is actually, I think I could just go over this whole entire set that I have. If you've seen my journals video at the beginning of this year, maybe I vaguely talked about it, but this is the whole, oh, that one's from last year, but same situation. So this is a whole complete comprehensive set of Llewellyn's like yearly things that they do. So they come out with yearly informational books that I just love, and I love their authors. Some of the stuff is very like beginner friendly, which is fine. I never use anyone's spell anyways. I always make my own. So seeing like an idea from someone else is really like, I really enjoy that, seeing how other people practice and that sort of thing. So I like getting inspiration. So the first one is the Sabbath Almanac by Llewellyn, and it talks about the Sabbats, and it has great information. It kind of talks about where that Sabbath originated, it has a little bit of the history for it. It has correspondences for it. It talks about its astrological happenings during it and around it. It has a couple activities that you can do for it that kind of go alongside with it. So I really, really enjoy this for the Sabbats and like kind of studying up on them and understanding them. So great if you are interested in following the Sabbats. We've talked about that briefly in like the first portion of this video, but yeah, definitely great. Then there is the Magical Almanac. This one is more of like a snap. I'm gonna sneeze. A snapshot of kind of like some of the astrological things are happening, and so are a couple of these as well. I don't really get it for like this portion. I get it for the information and like different things that they share here. So this is a shade of your deepest ancestry, and it talks about roots and seeds and deep ancestry, and talks about air magic and that sort of thing. So I like I really like the different like portions of it, not just its almanac-y thing. Almanac-y. All right, new word that I made up. Let's see. So it also has like kind of like national days as well, and there's like Harvey Milk Day in California, And then Education and Culture Day in Bulgaria, and talks about the moon signs, which phase it's in. So it has like a very brief snapshot of like what's happening on that day, and like good information on the other portions of it. Then this is the Herbal Almanac, and all of these are by Llewellyn. And this is mainly around gardening and planting and that sort of thing. I bought it with a really big hope that I'm going to start my little garden this year, but that never happened. But it's still interesting to read about it. It gives you like information based around the gardening, and then it, like, in January I was like all for it, planning out what I want to plant. Never got around to it, but I'll be more prepared for next year. And then it talks about like the best times to plant, and like it also has things to plant in regards to like health and beauty and various topics. So if you're interested in planting and gardening, even if you're not going to be setting up your garden, it's really, really good book to kind of get information on it and how it corresponds to like the cycle of the year. Now, all of these books are northern hemisphere and more like western-ish, right? Northern hemisphere and western-ish. So if you're below the equator, these might not exactly correspond to your location, your area. Or if you're more like the eastern side, like more Eastern magic and that sort of thing, it might not exactly correspond to it. So this is more western. Sorry. The next one, oh, this one's my last year's Sabbath's Almanac. The next one is Spell a Day, The Witch's Spell a Day, and this, I really, really like this one because it goes through every single day, and it gives you the correspondence of what is going on that day. It gives you color correspondence, it gives you an incense correspondence, it gives you the moon phase, like a snapshot of like astrological things that are happening. And it gives you a small, simple spell to do that day that incorporates all of the things that are currently happening. So one of the things that I like to do is look at it, not exactly take its exact idea of what's happening, but kind of understand like what energies are best to work with on that day, if that makes sense. So it's super cute. I love the little simple spells that it provides. Some of them are like really, really good, and I would have never thought of it. So I keep getting this because I just love it. And then you can use the little spell book on other days of the year depending on how it works for you. So love this one. And the last one of their set, I think, at least there might be more, but this is all I have on my table, and I'm not going to go dig for more, is the Daily Planetary Guide. And this goes, I actually like their next year's better. They have a better kind of like representation or explanation of it. But this is the second year that I got these, and it goes through specific dates, and like what's happening astrologically, what planets are doing what, and what is going on energetically when those planets are doing whatever they're doing. Like right now we're in Mercury retrograde. If you hear that yelling, that is Indigo, my new pet bird, and he's demanding attention because he's a little attention hoe. So it also has like a little calendar that gives you all the transits and information and stuff, but my favorite parts of it are getting like a good glimpse, and it goes by week. So let's see, what day are we in? We're September 19th. So the theme for this week is kind of trust issues, and it goes like, when opportunity knocks, will you open the door and ask who's there, or turn off the lights and pretend you aren't home? Depends who's at my door. Let's see. Out of the blue, possibilities could arise through social connections on Monday or Tuesday, thanks to the moon sextile of Uranus and Venus, as well as an exact trine between Master Schmoozer Venus and falls in your lap Uranus. So I really enjoy kind of like its explanation and excerpts of things that are happening star-wise, celestial-wise. Yeah. Let's see, I'm going to have to an herbal garden next year. Yeah, so that's what we're stuck on, is building the raised beds. I have the place of what we're doing. I have the idea of he really wants attention. I have an idea of what I want to plant. I know where they're gonna go. It's just the whole part of like building them, and my husband's just been traveling everywhere. We haven't had time to do any of it. Okay. Do you guys want to meet my bird? And while someone responds to that, give me another number 1 through 20 to go over to the next book. All right, yes to the bird, number 18, number 20. All right, I'm gonna go get the bird, and then we'll count the books. I will be back. Let's hope the camera stays. We're good? We're good? Okay. Hi. Hi. So this is Indigo. He is a Quaker parrot. He is 4 months old and molting, so he looks a little bit awkward. I have had him for about 3 weeks now. Step up. Step up. Let's go say hi. No, don't want to step up. I have a towel on here because he's... Step up. Good boy. Let's go say hi to the camera. Look at my pretty boy. He's so cute. My dog is so jealous of him. Hi. You see yourself? So this is Indigo. We think he's a boy. We're not sure. You can't really tell apart the gender of a Quaker parrot. And like his poor feathers are molting, as you can see, like the sheaths and things like that coming out. So yeah. Hi. Step up. Good boy. Can I get a kiss? Mwah! All right, you can hang out with me here until I do the next book. Pin at anything? What do you mean by pin? I don't know what that means. Okay, first number was 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna pick this one. It's a big book, and the eyes dilate. 2 parrots, and both were boys. Bad mistake. It was a boy and a girl. Did you have baby parrots? That would be kind of cool. His eyes dilate. Yeah, when he gets excited, his eyes dilate. And he also does this, like, weird head shake thingy that's supposed to be, like, I don't know what it's called, but he like shakes his head like really, really fast. Hi. All right, so next book is another big book, also by Llewellyn, and it's all on chakras. Big chakra book. Really goes into depth and detail of like the chakras and their correspondences and how what they respond to in to your body, in your body, and how to work with them, how to align them, how to like process through them. So nice, wonderful, wonderful book on it. One of the things that I'm not like super happy about is that it's on a very traditional 7 chakra system. I believe there's more than 7 chakras, but oh geez, but it's a really good like baseline, and the 7 that they talk about is the ones that I also work with. And it's just, it talks about different yoga poses and how to activate it and which exercises to do. Let's see. It's very, how do I put it? Eastern. This is very Eastern based belief. There was something over here that I wanted to show. There. Almost there. Keep skipping it and going through it. Oh no, I'm sorry. It talks about more than the 7. There was a different book on chakras that I had. This one goes more in depth than just the 7 points of chakra, but it starts off with the main 7 points of chakra. So, how do I put it? Oh, jeez. So, things like that. It has some illustrated pages, and it's a lot of information, and I really, really enjoy like how it talks about it, which way it's spinning energetically, and like the correspondences to it. Huge book, great book if you're interested in learning chakras and how your body system works biologically and spiritually kind of together. Great book to go through it. Okay. Hi, Birdie. Let's see. We did not, but they didn't survive. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry. Does that include other colors? Like lime green, brown, burgundy, black? Nightshade. I'm not sure what you mean by that. All right, what is an eclectic witch? An eclectic witch is someone that does not follow a specific path or a specific pantheon, or let's not yoink on my hair, thank you. An eclectic witch is someone like me. I like to study various different religions, different practices, different understandings and theologies and correspondences of them, and take things that that resonate with me. So I take things from something that's usually a Buddhist practice that I really enjoy and feel like it's supposed to be like a part of me. Things from Slavic witchcraft, things from Wiccan witchcraft, and things like that. So an eclectic witch is a combination of various different things that's taken from multiple places. I think that's a way to explain it. Let's see. A whole class on pendulum realms that explore other chakra colors and what they're for. Oh, okay. Okay, the chakras. I would say yes. Yeah, it definitely talks about more than just the basic colors. So It has the basics, and then it goes much, much more into different depths. I'm actually not entirely sure in regards to how the full color stuff works, but I want to say yes, but don't take my word for it because I haven't gone through all of it. um, yes. Okay. Perceiving colors in the astral body: black, red, brown, gray, orange, yellow, green, blue. That's it. Oh, that's a different portion of it. So this talks about a specific chakra and correspondences. So yes, I would say that it goes more than just the basic colors that go with it. Let's see. Yeah, there's definitely more than 7. It does talk about more than 7 colors. I just went through it. And you can send the studies on it. Yes, I would love to see what you got, because that would be awesome. Hi, you gonna keep chirping in my ear? Hello. That would be, oh, no, we're not doing the earring. You're not yanking that out of my ear. No, no. You're gonna go back to your cage. Hi. Let's go with a book that's not pagan based. So, this is the Madame Chic book series. I have one more that's somewhere else over there. And this is as far from, well, kind of, it's not pagan at all. This is based around etiquette, and it's a very, very feminine energy type of book, and talks about how to present yourself as like a sophisticated female, and it talks about studying knowledge and that sort of thing. And yeah, so it's a feminine etiquette book with a lot of examples, and it's Madame Chic by Jennifer L. Scott. She actually has a YouTube channel as well, and I just love her. And she talks about like living an elegant life and how to like elevate your lifestyle in simple ways. And I feel fancy and posh going by her examples. So if you like books on etiquette and lifestyle, I would definitely recommend her series. And she's like really funny the way she talks about it and explains different things. So yes, I like these books. Let's see. Are you teaching Indigo some words? Yes, I am definitely teaching some words. So can I get a kiss is something I'm repeating constantly. Hello and good morning and step up. So with step up, he actually kind of like mimics the noise of it, kind of goes like tweet. So maybe he's learning. Again, he's only 4 months old. Step up, step up, step up, step up. Oh gosh. Nope. There we go. So he's learning. We got stuff. But I think I'm gonna put you back so that we have less interruptions. Yeah, my pretty boy. I love his colors. He's so pretty with all his colors. And he's already developing a personality. Alright, I'm gonna go put him home and I'll be back. Hi, my pretty bird. My pretty bird. I am back. Any book recommendations on Akashic Records? I have read a few books on Akashic Records, but that was pre Elena Freedom era. So I don't have anything that I have like saved title wise or information wise, unfortunately. So if I come across them and remember that I have read them and enjoyed them, I would definitely like introduce them. But currently right now I can't recommend any because I don't remember the titles and they were thrown out. So yeah, there's that one. Let's see. Combining science and spirituality. This has been one of my favorite books that I've read. This is DNA and the Origins of Knowledge. It's the Cosmic Serpents, DNA and the Origins of Knowledge. It was also a book that I used for my research paper on genetic memory. And it's by Jeremy Narby, and it is fascinating how he connects genetics, our DNA, and shamanism. I don't know if anybody has encountered information on ayahuasca. I think that's the way it's pronounced. And he like very much went in depth in regards to the Amazon, the Amazonian native tribes and their practices, and words. Where are my words? Where are the words? Anyways, so it connects. He's an anthropologist, and he went and tried to study a place for like a totally different reason. But during his experiences, he encountered certain like shamans and studied and like understood some things, or like had an epiphany in regards to some things of how nature teaches us and how we know some of these things from nature and understand some of these things from nature because it's ingrained in our DNA, like genetic memory, that sort of thing. So this one is the first book, and this is the second book. I would say this one is a little heavy to read. It's very science jargon based, and it's a little bit more like a scientific type of study, versus this one has a better like flow and more towards like a general audience thing, versus this one's a little bit more sciencey. So depending on how you understand terminology, like genetic terminology and biological terminology, this one might be a little bit difficult for you to go through. But it was so fascinating to like read about his theories and just kind of like it was more of like a whoa moment. So really like these two books from him. Okay, continuing on with science combining with spirituality. There is, oh gosh, this book, it's called Moral Tribes, and it talks about how different communities, different religions, different beliefs, different practices coincide together and how people interact with each other. So it's more of a social studies type of book, but I would definitely pertain it to connecting with spirituality, because we have to encounter people with different beliefs and different experiences, and it's very The words don't want to come to me. It's a very good, like, book to help you understand a different perspective than where your currently standpoint is from. So it's more than just like one perspective. And the way he kind of like goes through things is different pastures or different like communities, and talks about sheeps and like sharing sheeps. He has a really good way of explaining things and making you understand kind of like what he's talking about and how to get into like that different perspective and how to co-live with like the community or that sort of thing. So another sciencey book that definitely pertains to spirituality. What else we have? Okay, staying on the topic of, I'm trying to go to like rapid fire from this because I have something else to do in a couple of minutes. So I think this will be my last book. This book and one more book. Alongside the topic of like science and religion. I love combining science and religion because I know this stuff exists. I know magic works. I know spells work. I know intentions work. I know it's there. But having like a proof that you can be like, ha, I'm right type of thing makes me feel some type of satisfied way, which is why I love reading science and biology and psychology based books that kind of emphasize what I already know. So that's one point for it. This is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, MD, and it's all on psychology and how the human brain goes through thinking and how it responds to certain traumas and how those traumas are retained within you. So this corresponds to shadow work. This book is so good, and it goes through so many different examples of how trauma can manifest and how you can help like work with it, and it gives explanations to it. It was like a very very deep book, very self-discovery type of book. So shadow work, another great addition for it. Would highly recommend that one. And one more, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Not really like super directed towards spirituality, but I believe that getting in touch with nature and continuing on with your practice, working on ways to incorporate more paganism into your daily life is a habit. And if you're looking to build up on these habits or improve habits or even get rid of some habits, he has like really good explanations of how you can get started and like tips and tricks of how to keep going, because everybody can start. It's just keep going. That's the issue. At least for me. So this is also a really good book. So it's not directly with spirituality and paganism, but habits do play a part of it, and that's a good book. I have so many more, but I think this will be it for today. I loved catching up with you guys and chatting with you guys and introducing my bird to you. Let me know if you like this kind of stuff. Let me know if you have any books that you can recommend. Put down like, not in the chat because the chat can become a little weird when someone rewatches it, but once this video is posted, because it still needs to render, post it in the comments other book suggestions that you might have. So I don't know if I'll be able to combine both. No, I don't think I'll be able to combine both of these together. It's gonna have to be like 1 and 2. It just might be able to kind of like put one next to the other. But yeah, let me know if you like this whole book chat thing, because I enjoyed myself. Definitely. And I definitely enjoyed chatting with you and catching up. And I hope to see you on my Wednesday's video. It's going to be an unboxing video. And yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be more back. Things are stabilizing a little bit. I think the next live video is going to be crystals based. I talked before, if you guys seen my like hanging out with me and plants video, that I need to reorganize my crystals, and that was like a couple months ago. Well, I really need to reorganize my crystals, so the next video is going to be me sitting on the floor playing with rocks and talking about rocks. So that would be fun. Well, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Blessings to all of you. Hope everybody has a wonderful day, wonderful week. Love you all.